Hey guys, here's another episode of Trainer Confidential. We got some updates today and some bodybuilding news. Of course, about the Arnold and well, a couple other things. But we're gonna dive in. After that, we're gonna dive into divisions. And if it's your first competition, or maybe you've done some competitions, you don't know what is the difference between the divisions. What makes a guy a classic physique? What makes a guy a bodybuilder? Women, what makes them bikini, what makes them wellness. I'm kind of going through this now because my wife is going to be doing a show, and I need to understand the differences between wellness and bikini. I kind of have a good idea about it now. But anyway, we're gonna bring up some pictures. We got Donnie. Donnie does this for a living, so we're gonna get all the facts from him. But so first things first, how you doing tonight, Donnie?
Not bad, man. How you doing?
I'm doing all right, doing okay.
Yeah, I did my big cook for the week.
Did you? Yeah, I usually do that
Yeah,
Sundays, huh?
I finished about an hour ago.
Yeah. How long does it take you?
It's just mainly the meats and stuff, and that took about a couple of hours,
Yeah. Do you use a rice cooker
So
for your
yeah.
rice, or do you boil your rice?
Huh?
Do you use a rice cooker?
Yeah, well, actually I'm not doing rice now. I'm doing pasta, but I have an electric pressure cooker. That's what I use.
Oh, yeah, yeah. We have
So
one of
it's
those.
it's multi-purpose.
Okay. Does that work good? That works good for the rice then, yeah?
I think I like it. I set it, forget it. Set the timer on it, boom, set it, forget it.
Oh, I gotta check that out because I boil my rice and it tastes good that way. Uh, I got a
Yeah.
rice cooker. I got a rice cooker a while back, and the day I bought it, it came in from Amazon, and she dropped it on the floor and it broke. So it's like, okay, we don't
Oh,
need a rice
okay.
cooker for now. So anyway, let's get started. I got some tabs here I want to show you guys uh of our first topic, and it is there we go. All right. So our first topic, IFB League is going to possibly start fining people for dropping out of invitationals. So obviously, what had happened was Griffin and the boogeyman, I always forget his name. Anyway, they dropped out of the show, and so they come up with this
You're talking
rule
about the
here.
Arnold, right?
Yeah, out of the Arnold, yeah.
Okay.
And at that point, there was only 6 contestants in the Arnold at that point, so that would have left it to 4. Uh, I don't know if they quit after the $100,000 was added on to the purse or not. But anyway, basically, what they're trying to do is you could possibly get a fine. You could possibly get you might have to sit out some shows for a while unless you have a doctor's note. Basically, is what it's leading up to, and it doesn't seem like nothing's set in stone yet. But this is something they're talking about anyway. What do you think about that, Donnie?
Well, from my understanding though, is if it's for a medical reason or there's some kind of a it's an emergency of some sort and it just can't be avoided, then
Yeah.
there won't be any repercussions or anything like that. But if you just up and decide not to participate, for reasons other than that, and then chances are, you won't be fined or anything like that. So
Yeah, and
that's from my understanding.
there's good reason for that too, because you're taking a spot somebody else could have, for one thing. You're messing up with the promoters, they're it does some damage too, just dropping out like that, so I could see why they would make that an
Yeah,
effect, and it makes sense to
yeah.
me. So
I
so
know
anyway,
when I have to sign up for shows and stuff. I mean, I've done about 5 pro shows. They do mention something like that if you have to drop out, it has to be for a medical reason or an emergency or something like that, and there won't be any repercussions brought
oh
against you.
really? So okay, so that's already kind of been a thing then.
It kind of is.
Oh, okay. Okay, our next topic, Andrew Jack. So he got rid of his old trainer, and he got a new one. It's pretty close to the Arnold, but I'm kind of looking at this as a good thing. It is close to the Arnold. And let's face it, Jack. I mean, if Jack is in his prime, I think if he's 100%, I think he's pretty much untouchable in the end. And this is going to
Well,
take him a while, for him to get
yeah,
that way.
I
But
was listening. Yeah, I was listening to. Yeah, I mean, Nick Walker was on
yeah,
Dave's podcast, and he basically said, that hey, if Jack ever got his stuff together, he would win.
yeah,
He'd
yeah,
win the Olympia.
yeah,
He
yeah.
just out and out just said it.
Yep, he did. I seen that too.
Kind of. I've never known Farah to be fired by anybody, so that
Yeah.
Farah is a pretty reputable guy and stuff. So I don't know whether the chemistry was off or I don't know, but that's kind of like a big deal. If it had been another trainer not a big name or anything like that, I mean that's almost equivalent to like Hani. You find Hani for some reason.
Yeah,
It
right.
just be like, whoa, So, but Farah is a pretty big name.
Who is he? What are some popular Olympians that he trained?
Flex Wheeler.
Flex Wheeler.
No,
Okay.
no, wait.
Okay.
No. Dexter Jackson.
Okay. Okay.
Dexter Jackson was one of Farrah's Farrah guys and stuff. Dexter would bounce between Charles Glass and Farrah, and I don't know whether Farrah did his diet and Charles did his training, or they did them both, and he just bounced back and forth. But yeah, it was Dexter Jackson, not Flex Wheeler.
Okay. Okay. Well, he looks like he's going for well, Chris Aceto is going to be his nutritionist, and I do believe that was Jay Cutler's nutritionist too, wasn't it?
For a while.
Yeah. Okay.
For a while, and then
Chris
Hani took it
Lewis
over.
is going to be his trainer. So
Okay.
yeah, we'll see how that works. I'm pulling for Jack. I think that guy's got a lot of potential. It's just going to take some time. Just going to take some time.
Yeah, he's got loads of potential, but the guys that are taking care of business right now, and I just said they're the guys and gals that are taking care of business right now, the ones that are consistent.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
Consistency. I mean, consistency is a very important factor in any sport, but especially in bodybuilding, though, especially in physique sports. Consistency is really something that if you can master that, then you're going to have a fairly lucrative. You'll have a fairly, let's say, you'll have a good career as a bodybuilder, competitive career.
I think that's where Clarita is at. Really, I mean, is consistency.
Yeah,
he's got consistency in everything he does. So okay, so we got another contestant here, Big Ramy. He finally got in there, and he's gonna attempt to do some damage at the Arnold, and that's awesome. He needed
a lot of mixed emotions about this and stuff. Some people are like, no, he shouldn't do it, and some people are like, yeah, maybe he should do it. I mean, he's not too far removed from the Olympia, and you and I both know he was not 100%.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't.
Now, if he was 100% at the Olympia and he still managed to get fourth or fifth or something like that, and he was like on 100%, then I would say, hey, look, you may want to think about, retiring, or you can just make your presence known in some of the lower tier shows and stuff. But the thing about it is he was not 100%. So, but the thing about it is he's being known now for his inconsistency. So, like the 10 to 12 shows prior to this one that's coming up, for the longest, it's always been his show to lose, whatever show he was in. It's just that we were thinking, okay, what Ramy he's going to bring, and he just didn't bring the Ramy that he brought when he won the first Olympia, and barely when he won the second Olympia. So the question now is what package is he going to bring? He can't bring the package that he brought at the Olympia, because we know what's going to happen there. Because if he brings that look, I know how that look was, and I know how Walker and I know how Clarita are going to be coming in. That's already got him out of the placings. Or at least for the win anyway.
And and then Lunsford, also another little side note, Lunsford, he put a video out, explaining why he doesn't want to do the Arnold, which I understand and I get it. He's 29 years old. I mean, I kind of get it. But one big thing that set out to me is Well, why wouldn't he do it? He's a bodybuilder for money. And I'm like, hold on here. Okay, so as a bodybuilder, it's not all about money. Yes, money fuels your bodybuilding, but let's face it. I mean, to be the best, that's what we're striving for. You know, money is just secondary. Yes, it fuels our passion. That's for sure. We have to have it. So on one end, I understand what he's saying, but he came in second to the Olympia. Okay, so he's planning on taking the Olympia next year. What about Nick Walker? Nick Walker is right behind him. And if you would have taken Nick Walker and you would have taken Chopin out of the deal there, and it was Nick Walker against Derek, I don't think Derek would have won. You know what I mean?
If I will say this though, and to a certain degree, I get it. Okay. However, and it's not this, but however, if this had been the 90s or the 2000s, okay, to where this is, he's probably going to go ahead and shoot for the money. That's $300,000.
Yeah.
You know, he made what, $250,000, at the Olympia,
Yeah.
he would have had an annual earning of $500,000.
Yeah.
I mean, professional athletes. Yeah. I see that. I get the passion, the whole 9 yards. But there are some folks out there. They're saying, he's, maybe he's a little
scared.
Maybe he's a little, whoever wins is Arnold's going to have momentum going into the Olympics.
Yes.
Yes. And so, if he loses to Nick Walker, then Walker's going to have the momentum and he won't. But my deal is this, and as well, there's no stronger motivation to get your butt handed to you and necessarily you play second in this show.
You're right.
And you're about to you're going to see that individual again at the next show.
Yeah, you're absolutely right about that.
I'm telling you, Derek would go beyond beast mode from that point on. And he's got me personally speaking, like I say, his decision is decision. Me personally speaking, I would have done it.
Yeah, I would have done it too.
I would have done it. Yeah. He's the number 2 guy, and you got your 212 Olympia, but you got the 3rd place person, and you got Ramy coming. It just depends. And the thing about it is this: if Ramy brings the package that he's supposed to bring, if he brings a package that he consistently should be bringing, this wouldn't even be a conversation.
Yeah.
It would be okay. You might as well just go ahead and engrave his name on the doggone trophies and stuff, But that's for another day. He's very inconsistent. But I mean, to me, I saw more upsides to Lunsford than downsides. I really did. I mean, you got plenty of time. It's 6 weeks away. You got plenty of time. You got about 4 or 5 months, to rest and heal and I mean, and the thing about it is, he says he wants to improve his physique more, but I mean, how much more can he improve it? I mean, you can feel a little bit, it doesn't take a lot of time to get more detail. Yeah. It takes time to maybe bring up muscle groups, and it takes time to bring up, lagging groups, and it takes time to put size on, but to just tighten up, anything, something like that and stuff, that doesn't take a lot of time to do. One cycle can do that. Yeah.
And I'm thinking back shots, he had everybody up there, that.
Right. Yeah. His back is
front shots, side shots. He was a little lacking. Nick had him beat on most of those, but he was next to Chupin, and those 2 guys, and when I say he was next to both of those guys, but those 2 guys, like we talked about before, your eyes just went to them. It's just simple as that, because they were same height, same structure, same, and that's just what happened. But so what you're saying is absolutely right. He just needs a little muscle maturity. That's all he needs. He doesn't have to get any bigger. I don't even know if he can get bigger. And it might look weird if he does. He's got the size, he's got the symmetry. He just needs to be tighter and have that mature muscle
in certain places.
Yeah, in
certain places. That's all.
Mainly the chest, I think.
Yeah. I mean, he took second. I mean, but and that's just my personal deal. I would have done it. He explained to us why he didn't do it. That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, you're good, dude.
But
I mean,
going into this Olympia, going into this, if Nick does win this Arnold, he will generate a lot of momentum going into that Olympia and stuff.
yeah, I
So
agree. And the thing is, just because Derek finished second doesn't mean he's going to win the Arnold. We don't know what's going to happen until the day of. We already know that from
as a
Ramy
matter
because
as
Ramy looked great before day of. He just wasn't the part.
as a matter of fact, yeah, there's no guarantee that he'll
No,
win the 23 Olympia.
no,
You
no,
know,
no. So banking on that, I wouldn't bank on something like it. Yes, it's a great goal to strive for, but a lot can happen in a day in bodybuilding. A lot can happen in a week. You know that, and so.
yeah.
Uh, but
You know, I
anyway,
mean, 300 grand he's given up. He could have had another 300 grand in his account. You know, I
yeah,
mean, you know,
like
I
I said,
mean,
I would have done it myself because I'm looking at the money. And if I would have, let's just say, would have won that, now you're more excited about the Olympia. And, what if you win next year's Olympia now, finally, because you got that momentum from winning the Arnold? I mean, you know,
that's what you're in the gym busting your butt for day in and day out and stuff. And you're a professional bike. I mean, you do this stuff for pay.
yeah,
And
yeah.
the Arnold and the Olympia are the two biggest purses.
And
Now,
Arnold might,
if it was like the New York Pro and people were etching to get the New York Pro,
yeah.
and I don't know what the prize money is. It's probably barely six figures or anything like that. I'd say I don't know. It may not be worth it. I've already you know
And, in
I've
years
already
to
got
come,
a $250,000 out of it.
we might
You
find
know,
that the Arnold is going to be a better payout than the Olympia. That could possibly happen. So,
yeah,
I mean, it's
yeah,
300 grand. So,
yeah,
well, let's dive into our next topic, and that's divisions.
yes,
So, women's divisions, we have physique, we got figure, we got wellness, we got bikini, and bodybuilding. Correct. So there's 5 of them.
correct, correct.
Men's is men's physique, classic physique, and bodybuilding, and then we got 212, but it's bodybuilding.
But it's bodybuilding. It's bodybuilding.
So what is the difference? So I got some pictures, and I want Donnie's going to kind of
But
explain.
before we jump into that, I think there's one thing I need to tell, especially the folks that are just starting, the new folks,
Uh-huh.
is that a lot of times you don't choose the genre, the genre chooses you. Okay,
Yes. Yes.
we got to start with that first. Okay,
Yeah.
especially when I'm dealing with, and let's just stick with the female. This when I'm dealing with a female, and a lot of people, they come to me, it's a bucket list. I want to do this show and stuff, and I know what they want to compete in, but we got to get them in shape, and we got to get them to the point to where we can actually see, the structure and the musculature and where we're going to be going and stuff. Whether it's going to be bikini, whether it's going to be for figure, whether it's going to be fitness is basically figure, or women's bodybuilding or women's physique, but that's the deal. So if the thing about it is this, if you were to take these 4 women, and let's say, because right now this is contest shape, and let's say we're 20 weeks out.
Okay.
It would probably be kind of hard to figure, okay, where are they going to go? Because, it's just hard to tell at that point in time, but yeah, that's one of the first rules of thumb and stuff. I know that I know a couple of bikini pros, and I know a few figure pros, okay, that no bikini pros, mainly bikini pros, and they were it was before figure came out, okay, because fitness was the first one to come out after women's bodybuilding. Fitness came out first, and then they decided to go with figure, and one was Lydia Taylor was her name.
Mm-hmm.
And she decided she would do figure. She wasn't quite big enough to be bodybuilding and stuff, and this was the first time you were starting to have these divisions, and it's like, okay, now you can fit people in other divisions that work better for them. Okay, so she went into figure, and she was good at figure. Okay, she in a more of an average lineup, she would win those. You know, she would do well in some of the regional shows and stuff. But when she got to that top tier, those top tier figure competitors, you know, I mean, she would get to national level and stuff and up a regional level, and she was like in the middle of the pack, you know. And this went on for years until bikini came out.
Okay.
Okay. And when bikini came out, okay, then you know it was kind of hard to figure it out first when we didn't know, but all we knew is that when she was on stage for the first time as a bikini competitor, you know, it was, this is it. This is what we wanted right here. This is where you belong right here. And that's where she got her pro card.
Huh.
You know?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Bikini pro. Yeah. You know?
Well,
Yes.
it brings me back to when I first met you, you know, I believe I wanted to do classic physique. I mean, you know, your bodybuilding physique. It was just like that. Remember that? I think I was fairly lean when I first seen you, though.
Right. And the thing and I think you were thinking classic because you weren't like really full and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But my deal is I was looking at your musculature.
Yeah.
Okay. You know, you struck me as somebody that would get really grainy, the whole 9 yards. And so there's two things that are going to determine the genre. And one is your structure, you know, and the other one is kind of like your musculature, you know. And people like if you take a look at the physique girl on the they're showing the extremes of musculature now. The
Yeah.
physique competitor, I can see where she would be. Okay, and these girls are pretty much right where they need to be and stuff. So this is a pretty good illustration right here. But yeah, you're looking at structure and you're looking at musculature. Okay, if somebody is more musculature than structure, then naturally I'm gonna put her to physique, because in physique you have muscularity rounds, whereas you don't have muscularity rounds in figure and wellness and bikini. You know, it's basically structure, though that's the top, that's the main thing. But then all the other stuff is pretty close behind it nowadays, because their conditioning is definitely, it's a lot better. Well, it's a lot more extreme than it was when it first started. Whereas and I had a girl once, and she just had really broad clavicles, okay, which is just your shoulder, you know, the long bones that across the shoulders and stuff, you know, broad clavicles, and you know, nice wide shoulders. You know, not necessarily not the best of delts, but she's got really broad shoulders. You know, I'm thinking, especially if that's a good taper that comes with it, and some people, they just naturally get into that. You tell them to hit a front repose and it just pops into place. I'm thinking figure right off the bat. You know, she may not have the musculature of the physique girl, but she's got that structure. Okay. And to me, in figure is 99% structure is what it is.
Okay.
You know, now the figure girl here, you have two types and I'm looking primarily at the shoulders. You've got girls, and this girl, she seems to be like a taller girl. Okay. Two things you want for figure, actually, when it comes to the shoulders. You want broad shoulders, you want those nice flat clavicles, and then you want well-developed deltoids, okay? And what I see with her, she's got very, very, very well developed deltoids, okay? Yeah. And her shoulders aren't like narrow, but they can probably be a little wider. If her shoulders were like maybe an inch wider or something like that, inch broader, that would change her physique and you know, tremendously. You know, it would. But yeah, basically what you're looking at, and her structure is okay. It's not bad. I've seen some figure competitors with much more pronounced taper in their torso. She's got her delta just off the charts. But what I'm saying is her shoulders could be a little wider. Yeah. You know, and that would make her even more formidable and stuff. Now, wellness and bikini, I see wellness. Bikini came first. I see wellness as bikini burlesque is what I say. Yeah, that's what you're saying. Their structures are very, very, very similar. Okay, because and you can tell by the way they're posing. You know, their posing is very similar too. but wellness is I call it, bikini burlesque. They're just fuller. They're just, that's pretty much it in a nutshell. But these two photos here, I mean, the bikini on the end, that's almost classic bikini right there. Today's classic bikini, because before there wasn't a lot of emphasis on the shoulder girth. Okay, whereas now bikini, you got to be stacked from head to toe. Before it would just be from the waist down, but now it's head to toe. It's head to toe.
Yeah, you can you can definitely see the
And the bodybuilding and physique, it's basically it actually boils down to the fullness.
okay.
The bodybuilder, believe it or not, she's got the structure. Her structure is just as good as the figure girl. I mean, she's got nice broad shoulders and great delts. I mean, they're just perfect for figure and stuff. But the thing about it is, some girls, I mean, they're not going to get that big. They're not going to get that roundness. They're not going to get that fullness. They're just not. It's just not going to happen. And so they're going to either bounce between physique, or they're gonna go to bodybuilding and stuff.
Okay.
There's another, the girl, the bikini on the end. The thing about it is, it's not a bad shot. I'm looking at the bikini girl, but I tell you, her show, if you go back to the previous bikini girl, this girl's got great delts, but her shoulders are a little. This girl, her delts are okay, but her shoulders would seem to be a little bit broader and stuff, But now you get those bikini competitors that have both of those. Those are the ones that are cleaning everybody's clocks.
Okay.
So that is something to consider and stuff. So, but wellness and bikini are going to be fairly close. But like I said, I call wellness bikini burlesque. It's just a little fuller version of bikini is what it seems to be. And when I mean by fuller, I don't necessarily mean softer neither. I mean, these girls, they are pretty freaking lean up there and stuff.
So yeah. I mean, don't let them fool you. Okay, men's. So here's I got a little thing here. Sorry for the doesn't look all that great. I had to blow it up.
No, it's good. It's good.
But anyway, here's men's physique, classic
so
physique.
you got So you got men's physique, classic physique, and men's bodybuilding and stuff, And the first thing that's drawn, first person I'm drawn to is Bumstead.
Yeah,
because and the reason being is these are the physiques that I was looking at when I was growing up. Right now he looks like Frank Zane on steroids.
Yep, he does. He does. Yeah, that's exactly.
But what I mean, he does. And so this, I think of Dave Draper, and I think of all of these guys.
Dave Draper, yes.
Yeah, blonde bomber.
He looks like Dave Draper there. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, that's a Dave Draper pose. And he looks better at it than Dave Draper did. But
is that his pose?
Yeah, but it's. Yeah, that was one of Dave Draper's trademark poses.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, he was the first one to break 21 inches with 21-inch biceps.
Really?
And Leroy Colbert was the first to break 20 inches, but Dave Draper broke 21. So, but it was claimed back then that he was the first. But yeah, but you can actually see the difference here. I mean, and with the men's physique guy, I mean it's you would think I would see like maybe a defensive back looking like that. They look very athletic, what I mean. But they still have the physique aesthetics of broad shoulders, nice taper, small waist, and of course you got the legs. I think right now the board shorts are getting more and more form fitting and stuff, because you gotta have legs also in men's physique.
Do you really?
And I'm glad they're doing that and stuff. And so what it's structure, and it really pays to be really separated. in men's physique and stuff, because they don't necessarily have a muscularity round, so they're not flexing to actually bring out that detail. But the thing about it is if you get a physique competitor that's got a lot of detail, and which is a very dynamic look without having to go into a muscularity round, that really pays dividends for them. And of course, bodybuilding, it's either one. If you notice, all three have structure. It's not like you're saying, okay, well, the body, you don't necessarily need structure, you just need big muscles. No, you got to have big muscles, yes, in bodybuilding, yes, you got to be full. But the thing about it is this, you still got to have the taper, you got to have the broad shoulders, you got to have the narrow waist, the sweep, the whole 9 yards. Phil is just a blown up version of Chris Bumstead.
Yeah.
They're still, you're seeing the same thing, but this is where genetics comes in.
Yeah.
Because Chris may not be able to get as full as Phil Heath, and a men's physique guy may not be able to get as big as Chris Bumstead. Although you do have those hybrids, to where you've got someone that's probably in the middle that could either go men's physique or bodybuilding. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you do have hybrids, and you see that a lot in the regional shows, and you see that a lot in the local shows where you may have competitors doing bodybuilding and men's physique.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Classic physique, or you may have somebody doing classic physique and men's physique, or you may have somebody doing bikini and figure. You see, or physique and figure. Okay. So figures is like the central point for the women's genres and stuff, and from that figures they'll either go bikini or they'll go physique. Okay, but you'll have a lot of folks doing that stuff too. But as you get higher and higher in the ranks, you need to get a little bit more specialized, and you need to focus on what you're going to really get after and stuff.
Yeah.
You can't, and a lot of people say, well, 212, you got 212 guys going to open. That's still bodybuilding.
Yeah, it's bodybuilding. Yeah.
It's still bodybuilding, Now, you've already had the bull, Peterson, he went from classic physique to 212, and it's just a matter of just getting fuller and stuff. There are lots of pro. I know I was listening to Trigilli, and he was saying, hey, look, having Sean come up and some of these other 212s come up, and they're challenging these open guys, and why do we need 212? I think that, these guys that are doing that, I think they're like outliers, or like exceptions to the rules. You still got a lot of 212s out there that'll never be competing, 212 pros that are never going to be competing, in the open division. They're just not. I
agree. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. So to get your pro card, let's say you're a pro bodybuilder. Can you compete in classic at that point, or do you have to actually get your pro card for classic? How does that work?
No, because remember we talked about I can't remember what this competitor's name. He was we talked about him in the last episode, and he was I wouldn't say confronted. I don't know if he was advised, but it was mentioned to him that maybe he should go classic. Remember Flex Wheeler, he was a bodybuilder. When he came back in classic physique.
Oh, that's right. Well, and
Bumstead's
talking about going to the open, so so he could go compete in the pro open if he decided that.
Yes.
Oh wow. Okay. Huh. Because I know you can do that as an amateur. Well, that's cool. Okay. Well, that's about what we have for this week anyway, you guys. I hope we shed some light on the differences. It can get confusing sometimes. I know it was for me. I know it is for my wife. So, it's especially with the women, I think. But anyway, what's that, Donnie?
No, but the main, and when we're talking about this, we're addressing folks that are getting in this for the first time, and they don't quite know where they're going to go. When I say is, you know, get on, you got to get on the prep anyway. Start the prep, you know, and then as your body starts coming down, if you got a coach or something like that, they're gonna at that point they will say, okay, this is where we're going. You know, it's not so much you're gonna choose it, although some people can choose it. You know, you got those hybrids that can go between a couple of categories and stuff. But for the most part, you know, you just get down and it'll start telling you where you need to go.
Yeah.
You know, and like I say, you don't always choose your genre. A lot of times the genre chooses you.
I laugh because I just got done telling my wife that before the podcast because she was wondering which one she's gonna do. And yeah, it's they choose you. It's just the way it works. So you know, you can always build muscle, you can always get fitter and everything, but God gave you a physique and you have what you have to work with, and you have the genetics you have to work with. That's it. So you know, not everybody can do it. Some people can, like Eddie Hall, for example. I just don't see him flourishing in bodybuilding career. But as a strong man, he's the best in the world. You know what I mean? It's just you know, he has a strongman body. He doesn't have a bodybuilder body,
But you know, but he you know, and it's just I think to me it's a bucket list for him. You know,
it is. It
you
is.
know, you hear a lot about it, what we go through and everything and stuff. Some people find it intriguing and stuff, you know, and these are a lot of the athletes that I do. They've never done it before, probably won't do it again and stuff, you know, and they just want to walk the walk. They want to they want to see what it's like and stuff, you know.
It's an
And
experience. I love it. I'm addicted. All right, you guys, we'll see you next week. You guys got any comments or suggestions? Throw it in the comment part, like and subscribe. The channel
Please
is
do.
finally building a little bit. So thank you guys for all your support. I mean, we wouldn't have it here if it wasn't for you. So that's just a simple fact. And we love helping.
Absolutely.
We're here to help you guys. This is what we love to do. I mean, I'm speaking for Donnie too, but we live, breathe, eat bodybuilding. I mean, that's our thing. So you know, spread the word. All right, you guys, have a good night.